All right, so it's week 6, and let's start off with some differences. So when I went to go volunteer last week, something that I noticed, and I kind of noticed someone was telling me about this before too as well. So in the States or back home, we use tia and tío for when we're calling like our aunt or uncle, and only for that. So like I would say, oh, like my tío Matt or something like that. But here, the little kids were like calling us tia and tío. So they're like calling me tia, tia, tia. And someone else was also telling me like they're like someone went to go eat dinner at their house, and he like the other family members were calling him like Theo, whatever his name was. And so they said it's really used like as a family friend, or kind of like when we're volunteering and someone that's a little bit older than you. I think it's kind of like a sign of respect. So that's something different, and I'm not used to yet. And I think that's the only difference I have for this week. But also, I'm starting to miss things from back home. Really just the food. There's like I've been wanting hot Cheetos, and there's just not any here, or like Valentina sauce. Like there's not much Mexican food here, and even at like the grocery stores. Let's see what else I want. Oh, there was something. Oh, I forgot. What was it? Now it's gonna bother me because it was on the top of my head, but I guess it doesn't matter. But yeah, I'm starting to miss things, and I was like, oh, like, I want them to send it to me, but I found out it's like $100 to send a package from here to back home, or from back home to here, and I don't know why it's so expensive. And also, it's like $10 just to send like an envelope, so that's why I'm not sending anything home anytime soon. Um, but it kind of sucks. But hopefully, when Justin comes, my mom can send stuff with him and it'll work out. But we'll see. And let's see. Oh, I also met someone that's full Native American, which was really cool. Um, Someone asked him, he's like, "Oh, are you Cherokee?" And he said a comment like, he's like, "Oh, everyone's Cherokee." And I was like, "Oh, he has to be Native American." And he's actually full Navajo, and that's really cool. He's from Arizona. And let's see, I also talk about my leadership class because it's really cool. Um, it's it's more of like interactive class. We're always like doing different activities in class. Like today we watched a really cool movie before, but today we're doing a activity that split us up into two groups of the class, and then in one group, both groups were doing the same thing, but out of all the people you had to say, so the scenario was like, um, we're on like a lifeboat, and like we're going towards safety. I don't know, but there was like water in the boat, and you each round you have to say like why, or your reason why you should stay on the boat. And each round we had to vote people off. So like the first time we voted one person off, and then, or no, two people, and the next time two people, and then the next time it's like three people had to go off. And so people were coming up with all kinds of things. Like people were like, well, I can turn, and it didn't have to be true. Like some people were like, oh, I can turn salt water into fresh water and all this stuff. But I won from my group. So some of the things I said, like the first one was that I can fish, so I can feed everybody on the boat. And another one was, like my feet were super fast, like the little kid from Incredible, and so like I would like make the boat go fast and get us to safety. And then some people were saying like, yeah, I can talk to mermaids, and the mermaids are my friends, and they're gonna guide us to safety and stuff like that. And then the final one, there's like three of us left. Um, my thing was that I was like an awesome filmmaker and writer, and then how I was gonna write a book and tell about everybody's lives, and then later on make a movie, and it's gonna make a lot of money, and then I would give the money to their families. So that's what won. So that was pretty cool. And let's see. And so this week, I didn't do much during the week, but on the weekend, I did go to Laguna Verde. And well, I actually went Friday to volunteer, but we just went. So Laguna Verde is like hmm, 10-15 minutes from Valparaiso. So first it's Viña, Valparaiso, and then Laguna Verde. But when I went on Friday, we just like went into like like the beginning of Laguna Verde. But when we went with the group from school, we went like really deep into Luna. Oh God, I can't talk. Laguna Verde, and it took us about 20 minutes to get there. So we met at one spot, and they picked us up, and it was for 2 days. And okay, well, first of all, when I went to go volunteer on Friday, we got stuck in traffic for like 30 minutes, just standing like still, no movement. And so that happened. And then also when I went with the school, when we were coming back from kayaking, we also got stuck for like 20 minutes because so over there's like all these hills and mountains, and so there was a truck with like all this wood on it, and it wasn't steep, but it was like a dent in the road, and so when the truck was going over, the back of it got stuck, and they had to like dig out all the dirt, and it was just too heavy, like couldn't go up. So we waited for a while and still nothing, so we just went another route. But um, this weekend was really awesome. It was camping, and I've never done camping like that before. The only time was with my dad. And we did sleep in tents with my dad, and there was like showers you would walk to and bathrooms, but we slept on air mattresses. But this time we just had like a sleeping bag, and that's it. And like you could have took like mats, sleeping mats underneath, but I didn't have one, so but it wasn't that bad. So when we first got there, so we met up at 8 in the morning, and some people were late, so we had to wait. I wasn't. I was actually one of the first ones, so I was really proud of myself. And and then we went over there. And as soon as we got there, we changed into wetsuits. And this is the first time I had wetsuits that were short sleeves, so they were up here, and they like were shorts. They weren't like the pants ones, and then the long sleeves. So that was something different. Much easier to put on, but it's not much use. I mean, it helps in the water, but the long sleeve ones are better. So yeah, we got there, we changed into the wetsuits and went straight to go kayaking, and it took us like 15-20 minutes just from the house to the spot where we were kayaking, and there was like 10 of us in one truck, the trunk of the truck, and yeah, it was a ways. And then when we got there, we had to wait a little bit because they had to go back and get other kayaks, and so we could all go together. And so while we were waiting, we're like climbing rocks and just looking at the water and just tanning. I actually got like 3 different colors of tan on my leg because I mean they were the short. Oh my, I can't talk today or can't think of my words, but I was gonna say tuxedo. What is wrong with me? The wetsuit. It was a short wetsuit, so when we were just laying there, I pulled them up, and so the like top half of my leg was like super white, and then the next part was like kind of a little bit tanner, and then from there on it was like just dark. So I had 3 different shades on. That's how strong the sun was. But eventually we went to go kayaking, and I've never done kayaking like that, like in the ocean. By the shore and stuff like that. It was kind of intense going out. I was on a 2-person boat, so it was better. I didn't have to paddle as much, and the waves weren't too bad. And so we went kayaking along the shore, and then when on the way back, we stopped and we went snorkeling. Oh my god, the water was so cold, and I didn't even see any fish. The water was it was decent. Like it wasn't super clear, but it wasn't dirty. Like you could still see like rocks, and I think I saw it wasn't necessarily a starfish, but it's some kind of starfish. That's like the only thing I saw. And so we did that. We went back, and oh my god, we were super hungry. And when we got back, they had a table. So this family, or they have like a business where they stay there, they cook for you everything, and they give you activities. But when we got back, they had a table full of snacks, like fresh fruit, and then this like it's not a hot. It's kind of like a hot sauce, but it doesn't taste like a hot sauce. Like it's has like a it's kind of pica, but it's like really like chopped up tomatoes and onions and I think cilantro, and it just has a different taste other than hot sauce. But it's so good. You eat it with bread. Um, yeah, they had all these snacks, and we just like devoured the table. And then after that, we kind of just hung out. They had a bonfire going. We had marshmallows. And then we made our own papa fritas that day. It was, oh my god, the best french fries I've ever had in my life. Like when we're, I'm telling you these words, when we were peeling the potatoes. We were peeling the potatoes. There's like dirt on them, like fresh from the ground, and we had a huge bag, and it was like 10 of us just peeling these potatoes and cutting them up. And first we peeled them, and then after that we're cutting them into how we wanted our french fries. And it was funny because everyone had like all types of different french fries. Like there's like circle ones that were like skinny, or there was like fat french fries, or really skinny french fries, but oh my god, they were so good. And then some people also made biscuits from, and then the biscuits and empanadas were made from scratch. So the first night we had biscuits, and then that night we didn't go to sleep. We didn't go to sleep too late, like at 12. And then everyone was dancing, and it was super fun. And then we were like stargazing for a little bit. I swear, I think it was 4 of us on one couch, and I think we all fell asleep at one point. We're so tired, but we're just looking at the stars, and it was just so pretty. Never seen stars like that. And then the next day we went. First, they split us up into 2 groups. So I was in the first group, and we went trekking first, so like on a hike, and it wasn't too bad, not too steep. There wasn't like a clear route, so we were kind of making our own, going wherever we wanted. And then on the way down, they saw like a kind of like a shortcut, and they didn't even know where it was gonna go or what, but they just decided, instead of like walking like this, like all the way down, you could just slide down the mountain. And I had the GoPro on my head, so I will post a video of that. I still haven't seen it, so it should be interesting. But yeah, we went through that, and then we had to go walk through all these bushes. And as soon as you walk down to like slide down, feet sank, your your feet sank in the dirt. So like you look down, and your foot's just covered, like you couldn't even see your feet. But it was really fun. And then after that, we went horseback riding. And I've been horseback riding before, but my horse has never ran so fast. And my horse wasn't even the fastest. Mine was actually the slowest. But when it was running, I was like, whoa, like, I'm not the best at horseback riding. I couldn't get like the beat, not the beat down, but like the movement. But it was still a cool experience. And then we did that, and then when we got back, I was part of the group that was making empanadas. So like we started with the flour, and then he would add hot water. It had like hot water and salt, and then there was like lard and oil and baking powder, soda powder. I don't know which one it was exactly, but I have a video of that as well. And so it was a long process. It took us, I think, like maybe 2 hours. So first we had to make the dough, and then we made little circles of the dough, and then after that, then we like rolled it out, all that. And after that, they already had the meat cooked from the previous day before, so that was ready. And then we were just putting the meat inside, and you put half of a boiled egg, and then I forgot, what are they called in Spanish? But they're olives. But in Spanish, they're called something with a V. I don't know. maybe I'll tell y'all later. But yeah, you put those in the empanadas, and you have to put water around it so it sticks, and then you fold them. Then you have to put like little finger imprints, and then fold these, and it was really good. And like the first ones we just made them, and then the second ones were like okay, like there was only four of us. I think four of us making them, so we were like putting like certain stuff that we wanted them, like meat and cheese, because I don't really like the olives, so I didn't put any olives in mine, and we marked which one were ours. And so like I told the guy that taught us was the owner of the house. So I was like telling him in Spanish, I was like, "Can you tell us when they're ready so we can get the ones that we made?" And he was like, "Yeah, yeah." So when they're ready, he like told me to help him like pull out the thing. And I saw, because I had like two or three that were mine, and I saw the first one, like I was like, "Ooh, that one's mine." He's like, "Oh, okay." And so he's going to put it in the pan and just falls on the floor. I was like, "Oh man," but it's okay. I still had another one. Um, and yeah, so we ate empanadas, and then after that, it was over. But the weekend was just so fun. It was just good company. It was like there was some, at times there weren't things to do, but we just like thought of stuff to do, like playing instruments or singing or dancing. It was good, and it was only about 12 of us, including the lady that was in charge of the event. So, and then there was like a couple other people. And then there was also these little kids there with like their family, and they were just like the cutest thing, the cutest. On the way back, um, because it was like 10 of us in back of the trunk plus the two little kids. So I was holding one of the kids because it was like really bumpy, and then like all of a sudden he just falls asleep, like knocks out, and so I'm trying to hold on like to the truck, but like trying to like hold this little kid, but eventually like the parents took him inside. And so yeah, that was the weekend, and now I think I'm planning to go to Buenos Aires. Buenos Aires. Oh, pronouncing all my words wrong. But yeah, I'm planning to go there. I wanted to go to Argentina, and so I was gonna go to Mendoza, which is only like an 8 or 9 hour bus ride from Santiago. But Mendoza's like it's just mountains, and there's not much to do. And some friends are already going to Buenos Aires, so I was like, ooh, like I could spend the money going to Mendoza, but it's like I'm not really gonna like it, or I can just spend a little bit extra money and just go to a city that actually like has a lot of stuff. So I think I'm gonna do that, and I think we're buying tickets tomorrow, and so we'll go in May. And I'm also planning to go to Atacama Desert. It's north of Chile. It's like the highest, almost the highest point up north. And so I found tickets for only $40, which is really good. Um, so I'm planning to do that as well, and I think that might happen at the end of this week. So that's like 2 weekends in a row where I'm gonna be traveling. It's kind of intense, but it's okay. I know my mom was like, how's school? Like, how was your weekend? I was like telling her all the things I did, and she was like, I thought you were going there for school, not to like be traveling and stuff. I was like, it's the same thing, and but my classes aren't hard, and so it's fine. So, yeah, that's what happened this week, and I have my first game in 2 weeks. So I will keep y'all posted on the game, future travel, vacations, and I'll post videos, or I'll try to make a video of this weekend so y'all can see what it's like. Okay, bye.